Natural Beauties, welcome back to another episode of Naturally Us, where we talk about our transition into adulthood. I'm your host, Gabby.
I'm Nyla.
And we have...
What's your name?
Yes!
Najae.
Yes, we have Najae, and we're just so excited to have her.
Yes.
And hey, can y'all see we in a new transition, or with
Right.
location, I'll say.
New location. I got a whole face of makeup on.
Right, it's an exciting
This is so
day.
not normal. But yes, this isn't naturally me today. No, I'm kidding.
But you got your naturally hair, so
Yes.
it's
Okay. Because my brother's wedding is this weekend, so we was like, why not just get an episode in while we're here?
So now we're gonna go into our, or what is it called? Our segment that we like to do.
Yes, so I'm going to say a quote, and then I only have one. Just let me know if it relates to you or like what you think when you hear it. So my dad actually just told me this the other day, so I was like, let me write it down. This is really good. It says, a failure that you learn from is not a failure, it's a lesson.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely. Yeah.
I can agree. A lesson.
Do you ever
not,
think
say it one more time?
a failure that you learn from is not a failure, it's a lesson?
Yeah, I used to feel like if I didn't accomplish something, it was a failure. But you know, as you get older, you think like, okay, this is a lesson that I needed to learn to get to that certain point in life.
You learn from it. Like, what did I learn from losing? It just reminds me of like kind of Jalen's episode when he was like, show me a loser and I'll show you a loser. And it's like, no, because in those instances, what did you learn from losing, you know? So I just thought that was pretty good.
That's a really good quote.
Yes.
I think it changes the perspective of like the definition of failure.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
it's okay to fail because it's just something to build on.
It is okay to fail. Shoot, I failed a lot. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit into who you are, and then we'll ask you some would you rather questions. So tell us about yourself. Like, who are you? Where are you right now? And go on
Where
your
you
life.
from?
Right.
I'm from the DMV, you know. I'm just kidding. No, I am from the DMV, but I'm 27. I just turned 27 on Monday.
Happy belated birthday.
I don't know. I'm a mom of two. It's just me. Well, my family helps out a lot, so like I kind of lean on them. I'm going back to school again.
That's exciting.
I guess I'm like an entrepreneur in a way.
Right, you are. Like, what do you mean?
Right. Be confident that you are.
So I'm a jeweler, and I'm also sew hair. So
Nice.
Yeah.
And y'all, her hair be so soft. I be looking. Look, I don't do wigs or something, but I see Gabby's, and
yeah.
it's like so nice. And her little Instagram page.
And I love a good wig. I love to switch up hairstyle.
Right.
Currently right now.
Not me. Y'all see I had the same stuff every episode. Okay, so we'll get into would you rather. I have two. How many do you have?
I gotta find it. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I got 3, but
Okay.
I got a bunch, but I'm gonna just pick
Okay. So my would you rather, first one, would you rather be forced to listen to the same song 10 times on repeat for the rest of your life, or be forced to watch the same 5 movies on repeat for the rest of your life?
Ooh.
Can we pick the song in the movies?
I think you can, but you have to own, like, for the rest of your life, those are the only 10 songs and 5 movies you can listen to and watch.
So 10 songs or just one song?
10 songs, 5 movies.
I love music and I love movies.
I know. See, I'm kind of cheating because I'm thinking movies aren't shows.
That's all I was going to ask.
Music. Now when you're sick of the song.
Right, because I'm like, is it when the new music comes out?
So would you rather have like new movies or new music like in your life? That's really
I'm
big
gonna watch
question.
just 5 movies.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah, I was gonna do the movies.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even a big movie person, but the only sad thing about that is I can't ever see a new movie. And they've been coming out with some really good movies lately.
Did y'all see the movie The Black Phone? Oh, you probably wouldn't watch that.
No, AJ told me about it, but it sounds scary.
It wasn't scary, but it was really good.
What is it about? Oh,
This man.
Isn't it like but like a black balloon?
It's like this guy. He's basically kidnapping kids, and this kid, he's like trying to get out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw the commercials, but then I was like too scared.
I seen the clip on TikTok when the girl was cussing out the 2 detectives. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Like, you think I would protect the kids? I was like, oh, she going in.
Yes, that one was really good. Okay, now we're gonna get into my would you rather.
Wait, did you answer?
Yeah, I said the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you rather? It's kind of like yours though.
It's okay.
No, I'm gonna do this one. Would you rather have a huge imagination or a photographic memory?
Photographic memory. I feel like I already got a big imagination, but like I really want photographic memory. There was this episode of Hannah Montana when Hannah Montana was like, oh my goodness, it was Miley actually. Miley was like, show me how to study for this test, and he was like, okay, this is what I do. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. She was like, that's it. And I'm like, I want that.
To have a photographic memory.
Because then you will like remember everything. Like imagine arguments like, no, this is what you said.
But some people are already gonna wait. Imagine an argument.
Like, you know how people be like, well, I think I said this. Like, no, I know what you said because I remember.
But you know, some people try and flip it around and be like, no, you didn't say that. But I know specifically because I have a photographic memory that I said this.
And imagine like with school or something like that. Like, I always want a photographic memory in classes. So
I wish I was the type to have that, but I would rather have a photographic memory.
I would say the imagination one. Yeah, I feel like I would want to do like, I don't know,
be creative.
Be like expand the creativity. Like,
that low key, yeah, that's a good one.
I feel like, I already have a big imagination already, so.
But I feel like no, I agree with you. I think I think you do. But I'm saying like, I feel like if there's something like more, I feel like learn out. Yeah, like if it's more, I'm like, let me see. Or like, oh, I didn't think about it to do it this way. Like I normally would do it this way. Like that's what.
Wait, you only have one?
No, I have one more. But yeah, I didn't think about the creative one that way. Because like, what if you like create a new way of doing things and then you become a millionaire?
A new creation of things.
Or if you like help people, or like say like.
Be like a creative consultant.
Yes, like they're like, oh, I'm stuck in this little rut. And like,
and then you have that.
Yeah, but you can like imagine. I know this sounds crazy, but imagine this.
Yes.
Mars.
Yeah.
Mars. Okay, so this is my last one. Would you rather dine alone or watch a good movie by yourself? And when I think of dining, I think of like going to a restaurant.
I thought you said die alone.
Oh, dine.
Oh, dine.
Like eat. Would you rather eat alone? And I'm thinking going out to eat or going out to watch a movie by yourself, not at home. Because I feel like we do that at home all the time.
Dine alone
or watch a movie by yourself?
Like, would you rather treat yourself to a movie date or to a dinner date?
Okay. Well, wait, I can't eat at the movies?
I'm taking the scenario. No.
Dying. I'm eating.
I would say dying. Yeah. Give me a good crab boil.
See, I'm gonna say movie though.
Movie.
I don't know. I'm bad at making decisions, and I feel like if I go by myself, I'm gonna be there forever. Like, what do I want? You know, chicken tenders and fries. Like,
that's the most basic.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I just feel like that. Just get chicken tenders and fries.
No, I've gotten better, but that was me for sure when I was younger. Like chicken tenders and fries. But I feel like if I go out to eat by myself, nope, it's just awkward.
Wait, y'all, I was gonna say this. Y'all know Nyla eats pizza, but she takes the cheese
off.
My God. That's not pizza.
I like cheese. I know. But the crazy thing is, I've asked for bread and sauce before, and it just doesn't taste as good. It's like I need the flavor to seep into the bread and then just take it off.
That's like me eating cheese pizza with no pepperoni. Like, I don't like cheese pizza. I need the grease from the pepperoni.
Yep, and I'll eat the pepperonis, but just like take the cheese off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, I got one more.
Okay.
Would you rather be able to speak in riddles or only be able to talk sounding sarcastic? So speaking in riddles,
where everybody has to like figure out what the point.
That was so funny. Like talking in a riddle. Talking in a riddle.
I feel like that sarcasm would get old.
Yeah.
It's like people be like, yeah, I can't talk to her. She's just sarcastic. This is a serious moment. Our dad died, and she over here talking about, well, at least he's with her, like, you know.
I would pick the riddles. When I read that, I thought that was so funny. I'm like, why would I try and make people figure out what I'm trying to say?
Like, only speaking riddles, there's no sense to that's normal. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think I would choose sarcastic.
Riddles.
I'm gonna have to say sarcastic. Because I feel like riddles, because some riddles be hard.
Right, like I can't, it's like, what, are you asking me to marry you or no? Are you joking?
Wait, it's kind of weird with sarcastic too. Like, wait, is that a yes?
Right, wait, wait, were you serious?
No, for real.
I'm dead.
I don't have any more. Would you rather?
Nope, that's it. And so on to our next segment.
On to our next segment where we get to see the spotlight of the week. Does anybody have any good news? I know I do.
Go ahead, Gabby.
Okay. So yeah, I just got a new job. Well, yes, I just got a new job, so I'm really excited about that. And it seems like they're going to be a good company, so yeah, I'm excited.
I'm glad. And it's not a contract job. So
And then my project manager, leader or whatever, he was like, we're gonna go out to lunch. So I'm like really excited because I've never had anybody take me out to lunch from work. So
Nice.
of course that involves food that I love. But yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah.
Gabby a foodie.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Good news. I mean, my brother's wedding's today. I feel like the whole weekend's been like fun. Oh, seeing family, so that's good. That's my spotlight at the moment, like, or the week, like just seeing my family and like, just a good time.
Yes.
I definitely think it was like my birthday weekend last weekend was really cool, and then I think like it's like 2 weekends like. It's 2 back to back.
weekends in a row.
And then being here, I'm just like, oh my god, I see everybody.
And y'all haven't seen. When the last time y'all saw each other?
Probably the proposal a year
a
ago.
year ago.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
And then before that, it was like even longer. So I'm like, I just love like,
being around. Yeah, right. Like, oh my goodness. Especially because we all used to be around each other so much when we were younger, and it's just like we're older. Like, okay, see you in 3 years. Hopefully, I see you sometime this year.
Because the thing about like we haven't been around each other like physically just doing stuff in a long time, so then we finally get to see each other. But
right, that was me and you in college. Like we didn't see each other for 4 years straight.
Straight Snapchatting.
Right, Snapchat, and then after college, like okay, now we're gonna see each other every week.
I love that. Though.
But I do too. It's all happy vibes.
Right.
Good job. Congratulations. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to get into who Najae is. So tell us more about yourself, a little deeper. Tell us like your life after high school and like how you got to where you are now.
Okay. So I guess life after high school for me, probably like a year after. That's when I had Alexander. That's my son. I think that kind of like shifted everything for me, only because I feel like having a kid is a lot. And then so like I think now being 27 versus like having him when I was 18 is just like, oh wow, like it definitely.
He's almost 10.
Yeah, he's 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Literally. So I think that definitely like shifted everything for me because like I feel like I still was a kid in a way because I was like fresh out of high school, like oh my god, I want to go to college, I'm going to this college, I'm going to that, and then it's like wait, hold on, another one, oh gosh, wait a minute. So I thought that's probably that would have like my biggest shift. And then like Eliana a couple years later after that, I was like, okay, I got people. Okay.
Take care of.
Multiple. Okay, this is a lot. Okay, but it was cool though. But it's been cool. I definitely feel like I've had like throughout that period, it's been definitely like I know I was with y'all with the whole bad thing happened, but like definitely like certain traumatic experiences like kept the continuation of shifts. So it's been I feel like I'm better.
Yeah.
So how have you been navigating like through that?
Definitely like I think this year I've been like going hard for like trying to like develop a relationship with God. I know like when we were younger, you know, growing up PKs is like we forced on it. Yeah.
For those that didn't know.
It's like forced on us, but like now that I'm older and it's like, oh no, this is my decision and I really want to do it. So that's kind of how I've been having like praying more, like trying to like stay focused. It's like no, I can't attention no more. Like, I'm trying to do right. Like I'm just focused. Like it definitely like that. I think this year's been like the most like table shaking.
That's good. Yeah. So what made this year so different than like the other years? Because like even having your daughter and your son, like those were shift-changing years. So what made this year so different? Is it a mental thing?
Yes, definitely. No, definitely. No, it definitely was mental because I think like with my daughter's pregnancy, it was really rough. Like I was on bed rest the whole time, you know, going to different specialists, like different stuff like that. So I think I was like in a really dark place, and then like after that I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Like it's like I just feel like just because it was just like was like a fake
and you did
thing.
therapy too, right?
No, I did. No, I
good.
definitely did. Like and then I think some people always like, oh, therapy does it, but I'm like, you have to try out different people because that's what it was for me. Like first lady, I was like, ooh, I can't really, we don't really relate. Like you can't. The second lady, she was cool, but I feel like it was just talking to my friend. I'm like, I'm not about to pay you. I could just call my dog. Like I'm not gonna do that. Like, but then
you didn't feel like she was like giving you.
No, she wasn't challenging me. I feel like she wasn't challenging me like how I felt like I needed to be challenged, or like I think she was just like more so like comforting me, and I'm more so like okay, what? How do I learn? I'm just telling you my business. Like, how am I supposed to be learning from this?
Right.
Like, what's going on? But my most recent lady, she's been like really cool. I like her. Like, she's older than me. She's a mom too. And like, she's like, no, like that's not okay. But this is what you need to do to like. This is like some steps on what you need to do. You should. This is a project for you to do. Like,
I love that.
I never realized you have to go through multiple therapists to find the right one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a necessity, but I have heard, because I've never been to therapy, but I want to so bad. I just haven't been making it a priority.
I feel my mom still.
Right. I just always feel like my problems are like deep enough for like a therapist. Sometimes, sometimes I'm like, oh, little stuff like, you know, finance issues, you know.
But then it can come into a snowball effect.
Yeah. And then I know that there are deeper issues from like childhood that I want to dig deeper into just to like get it to the surface and just kind of, you know, unravel those things. But I just haven't made it a priority.
I know. I need to find a therapist.
Yeah. So how long have you been going to your current therapist?
Probably for about, I want to say like 2 years, a year or 2 years.
How long were you with your other ones before like realizing, oh, you're not for me?
Probably like, okay, for the first lady, I was going to her for like a year, but then after a while, I was like,
that's a long time.
No, but I felt like but I just felt like, because when I was talking about the bad stuff, it was just like yeah. So I was like, I feel bad talking to her about it because it was like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I couldn't really, like, let loose. But, like, girl, she was really nice about it. Like, she was like, oh, my gosh, like...
She wasn't giving you what you needed.
No.
She was more of like a, oh, I feel bad for you than a, oh, let's dig deeper type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was scared to go deeper with her because it was just some stuff, like, you can't relate. Like...
Yeah. Like, you don't know how to receive this information.
Literally.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I'm like, please don't tell your husband. I said, I'm so sorry. But, like, no, she was really nice, though. She was really nice.
A year?
Yeah. But it wasn't, like, a consistent year. It was like, okay, I went one time, 1 month, and it's like, okay, I go 2 times this month. And it's like, okay, I see you, like, 3 more months. Like, it was like that. It wasn't consistent.
Girl, I'm thinking it's every month, like, okay.
Oh, no. Oh, no. But my current lady, I literally see her, like, once a week. And then I think we brought it down to, like, once every 2 weeks. And then, like, that's how we've been doing it. Like, just bringing it down as much as I need it.
Do you think you will, like, graduate from therapy, or do you think that's something that you'll always do?
I definitely think I feel like to each his own. But, like, for me, I think... Like you said, it's definitely some, like, childhood trauma stuff that I'd have to, like, work through. And, like, even, like, adult trauma stuff that I have to work through.
Yeah.
So, and it's, like, for me, it's been, like, something all the time. So I think I'm going to keep doing it until I feel like, you know, like, okay, like, maybe I'll see you once every 3 months.
Right. Oh, I feel better about myself.
Yeah. Yeah, but I definitely think it's, like, that and partnering with the Lord.
The Lord. Everybody needs the Lord.
Yes.
Oh, I love
but,
that.
yeah.
So how has it been, you know, raising your children and going through therapy? Like, do you try and teach them the same types of things or going through their emotions?
Yes, and I think a combination with that and, like, my parents being really active in their life has been very, very funny because I see my parents, like, being a grandparents. So, like, how they raise me is not how they help me.
I swear, my dad spoils the mess out of DJ. Like, every time they go to the store, DJ got a big toy. Like, he loves Beyblades. He got a new arena. It's like, DJ, did you just get that? He's like, yep, my dad got it for me. Because he calls my dad Dad. He's like, yep, my dad got it for me. And I'm like, Dad, you spoil the mess out of him. Like, why you ain't do that to us?
That's what
I mean, he low-key did spoil us too, but, like, still, like, you spoil him a lot. Like, anything DJ wants. My dad, us, sweets. You know it's going to kill you, right? DJ, can I get some donuts? Here, DJ, get the whole thing. Like,
wait, but did you spoil DJ too?
I mean, when he was more younger, now it's more like, okay, 1 piece of candy.
That's really how, no, legit. I'm like, my mom, and my mom is a counselor, you know, my mom's a counselor. So, like, when they're, like, having their fits, okay, so we're going to walk through this.
That's so nice.
I'm like, Mom, no, because when you told me this, shut up and go to my room.
She's like, no, because my kids don't get the same parents I got. You better get them.
I'm like, so that's what we doing now? Like, that's what we doing? But she'd be like, Najae, nobody do that to you. I'm like, lie again. You know? But, yeah, that's been really cool, too. So, like, my children are very honest with their feelings. Yes. Yes. Like, I don't like that. Or, no, Mom, I was upset when this. I'm like, so it's definitely like, they're being raised very differently. So
do you like that?
I like it because I think it's gonna benefit them when they get older.
In the long run.
Yes, because I'm like they're gonna be able to express themselves respectfully, and like also I don't like want them to feel like how I felt, like oh my god I'm upset, but I'm gonna just boil it in, or like I boiled it so much and I'm gonna spaz out. Like
no, Alexander be letting you know.
Yeah, he like lets you know off rip, like no, I don't think that was right. I'm like, okay, so how does that make you feel? Like I'm like, so we're very much teaching them like that.
That's good. I like that. Okay, so before you had kids, first of all, did you want kids from the jump? Because I know some people that get pregnant young never really wanted kids.
So I wanted kids, but this is not the plan I had for how I wanted them. Like I wanted to be married first, you know, travel a little bit. Everything. Yes, like in my career, and do I then have kids? But like now it's kind of like the flip side, but I'm still not married. But still, it's just like, oh.
And it's okay. Like, everything happens for a reason. Things will go according to plan.
Yeah.
So, like, the way you raise your kids now, is that how you thought it was going to go? Like, parenting?
No. I thought I was going to be more strict.
I
thought I was going to be more strict. I'm like, don't. Now I'd be like, bro, you wilding out.
Yeah, you wilding out.
I'm like, all right. Like, we get it. Like, I be talking to them like they are humans. But, like, I be talking to them like, come on, we're gonna work through this, but we're not finna, like, I thought I was gonna be more like, no, go back, like, but I'm not like that.
What's the word?
I'm more chill.
Dictator type.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be definitely more strict, but I'm like, okay, now you can talk to me, but to change your tone, like that's the most where I get like a little buck back. But that's it. But they're pretty chill. They're pretty calm.
Yeah.
Like they gonna tell you how they think, what they thinking, but I try to like. Yeah, I'm not as strict as I want to be though.
Get a little strict,
right? I be like tighten up, but I'm like, Najae, you can't talk to them like that. I'm like, okay, they're mine, but I guess I'm not all the way strict. I'm not all the way chill, cause like my mom, she says excuse me, or I give them a look. I'd be like,
your looks kill.
I'm like, bro, what is it, bro? I'd be like, what are we doing? I'm like, really? That makes sense to you? Okay.
I feel like parenting in the 21st century is so different. It's almost like kids are, like, we want our kids to be, like, open and, like, kind of like our friend.
I don't
but
want
like
them to
not,
be scared to come
right,
to
like,
me.
not scared to come to us, but we also still want to be like, I'm your parent. Like, don't get it wrong.
Yes, and I feel like I definitely have those moments where I'm like, hold on, who you talking to? And I'm like, okay.
Don't forget who I was.
I'm like, but yeah, that's pretty cool, though. They're
cool. That's good.
Sometimes I wonder, I be like, how am I going to be as a parent? Like, I don't know, because you can raise a kid a certain way, but they'll come out, you know, different. Not what you expect. Yeah, and it's like, how do I control that? And then on the other hand, you got kids who are really good, so I'll just be wondering how my kids are going to come out, hopefully, on the good side.
Yeah. I think the foundation is, like, everything. Mm-hmm. So that's why I try not to control them too much. Like, I kind of have an idea of how I think they're going to, like, turn out, or, like, how I see, like, their life going, but it's just always, like, we have a foundation of, like, our relationship, so, like, however you turned out, like, I'm here to support you.
Right, that's how you're going to be.
Because, like, oh, you're going to be a doctor, and you're going to do, like, it's like, nah, if you want to spray paint, okay. Let's have a backup plan, but okay, I got you. But we going to plan it out, but I got you, okay, I got it.
I just, like, I'm with you, Gabby. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be as a parent. Like, I feel like I'm going to be the lenient parent and Justin's going to be the strict one, only because I could just see how we interact with kids. Like, I'm more of the person to be like, they want a cookie, give them a cookie. And then Justin's like, no, we haven't had dinner yet. And I'm like, come on.
It's just a little cookie.
It's just a little cookie. So I think I'm going to be that parent, but I don't know if it's just, like, me with other kids. And then, like, as soon as I raise my kids, I'm like, no. I said no, and I said what I said. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be that type of parent.
So I hope I'm not a yelling parent, because I already be yelling at my siblings. Like,
if you a yeller, you're going to be a yeller.
I was like, it's going to slip in.
Right. I'm not a yeller. I'm more of a quiet, like, if I'm mad at you, I'm gonna be quiet. So I feel like if my kids, they gonna know.
It's just hard, like, because my siblings are 10 and 15, so I'm like
10.
No, she's 11. It's just that they get on my nerves.
I was like, wait, that's
I don't know. I hope I'm not a yelling parent at the end of the day. I don't want to be like that.
I mean, you're
sit down somewhere, dang.
I can see you saying that. I'm trying to watch my show.
They handing your food.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Man, Gabby, that's gonna be over. Because them babies with them, you see the picture of, like, the strongest babies, the baby. Gabby gonna be so mad. Like, no, nope. Here, hold the baby. I need to eat my meal.
That's gonna be me. My meal is important.
I'm dead. Yeah. Okay, so like you said, your pregnancies were, or with your daughter was rough. So tell us a little bit about the difference between your two pregnancies.
Ooh, I feel like Alexander's was cool. We was smooth. It wasn't, neither one of them was playing, but I just was like, oh, this is cool. Okay, this is not that bad. I'll do this again. It's no problem. But then with Eliana's, it was like, wait a minute, hold on. At first, I was like, oh, I gotta make that appointment. But I can't have 2 kids. I'm not married. I'm having 2 kids.
Dumb.
Oh my God. Like, that's too much. Because my dad appointment was set. But I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, let me just try. We gonna try it out. I ain't gonna do no more, but we gonna try it out.
If I don't, what you gonna do if it don't work? Like, let's try it out here. I don't want it anymore.
What's the return policy on this? But, you know, she was cool. It wasn't cool. It was rough. But I started bleeding, like, my first, like, probably like a couple months into it. Like, I was like cramping really bad.
Did you think you were miscarrying?
Yeah, that's what they told me. Because I told them, I was like, oh, like my stomach hurts. This isn't normal. And that's honestly, this is what made me like actually like, because I always like looking into doula stuff, but like my experience with her pregnancy actually made me like, was like, oh no, I'm gonna be a doula. I'm gonna take the necessary steps I need to do, because it was like it was different. Because like as like, you know, I feel like I did all the things right. Like I had a black OBGYN. Like granted I was younger, but you know I was bringing my mom to the appointments. Like I already had a baby before, so like okay, I kind of know how everything should feel. I kind of get a gauge. Granted, his was like was pretty chill, but I'm like I can get a gauge on what's going on. So I was telling them like, oh, my stomach hurts, like something's wrong. They're like, oh no, that's normal.
They weren't believing you,
right? But then they didn't know I had Alexander, which was weird because I'm like it was the same place. I was like, no,
shouldn't they know that already? Though?
That's what I'm saying. But like I never met the one lady. She doesn't work there anymore.
Oh.
But yes.
Wait, she got fired?
Yes, I called the board. That's the thing too.
You got her fired?
Yes, because I just feel like that's not how you should talk to somebody. Like I'm telling you, like my stomach hurts. Oh, you're probably miscarrying. I'm like
probably. You don't nonchalantly say that to
literally,
somebody.
like, oh, you're just. She thought first with the cramping, she thought I was being dramatic. Then I started bleeding. Then it was like, oh, you're probably miscarrying. I'm just like, you're not gonna talk to me like you're. This is like
extra precautions.
Literally, yes. Wait, and that's the thing.
What color was she?
She was black.
That's crazy because like, they always say like no one listens to black patients.
Yeah, and that was my purpose of picking a black OBGYN. And so even with Alexander though, like it was an older black lady, and she was like every time like she was checking, I'm like, oh, like I'm uncomfortable, and she was like, no, you're just being dramatic. I'm like, ma'am, listen, I know what goes down there. Like right. You could, I know my body. Like I know how this should feel, and you have nails, and this hurts. Like I'm telling you, it hurts. And then it's after a while, I was like, you know what, you're not checking me anymore. Then she ended up breaking my water after I asked her not to.
What?
Yes.
She did it on purpose?
Yeah, she was like, oh, I'm just going to check your something. So she, like, changed the word. Like, I know what it is now, like, retrospect, because, like, I've, like, looked it up.
You know the terms and stuff?
Right. So she, like, I told her I didn't want my water breaking because, you know, like, my child's father, he lived in a different state at the time. So I was like, oh, like, we're waiting for him to get, like, fly back down here. Like, I'm trying to want to slow it down, then we can speed it up later on. Like, so just wait a couple hours. Like, if I didn't progress, like, cool. Like, I was advocating for myself, but it was like, oh, we're just gonna do this. And she actually like broke my water. I went dumb on her. Like I was like, bro, you're not about to do that. And so with my second one, I was like, I'm really finna go hard.
Wait, they broke your water with Alexander?
Yeah, that was with Alexander.
Oh, I thought you were still talking about okay.
No, so
yeah, me too.
No, that's with Alexander. With Eliana, she kind of dismissed me. She was like, oh, you're probably having a miscarriage. I was like, I'm going to go to the hospital because y'all are tripping at this point. So I went to the hospital. I wasn't even miscarrying. I just had, like, it was, like, my placenta was, like, separating from it. So, like, that's where the blood was coming from. So then it was like, oh, psych, your baby didn't die. Like, I was like, bro, that was, I'm so sorry.
Psych, nah.
Take it back. Literally, she was like, oh, you're just miscarrying. You should be fine. Like, it should be finished bleeding within next week. And I'm on the phone, like, crying. And I'm just like, bro, I just told everybody. I just told my mom I was pregnant. What are you talking about? Like, I was hiding it for a little bit. But then, like, once that happened, I was like, oh, crap. And so I went to the hospital, and then they were like, nope, she's right here. I'm like, excuse me? Like, they just told me she died. What are you talking about? But I'm like,
how long did it take for her to tell you you're miscarrying to the hospital telling you no?
It probably was, like, all of 5 hours.
Okay. But so, that's like, that felt like a long time.
I literally crying nonstop. I'm still bleeding. And it's like, and then, so even afterwards, they were like, well, we don't want to, like, get your hopes up or whatever, so still go back to your OB. So, like, even from, like, my appointment from the hospital to, like, my emergency room, from the emergency room to, like, my OB appointment, it was like, bracing myself like, okay, maybe what's really going on. And so like probably like up until I had her, I was in what is it called, like the high risk appointment. I had high risk appointments,
like bed rest and stuff.
Bed rest, high risk appointments, ultrasounds every week. It was like crazy up until I had her. Then when I had her, I was like just crying because I was like, oh my gosh, like, because then it was funny because like during that time I was like, God, if you gonna just like get my hopes up to like I did all this to keep her, and then now you about to do you doing all of this, like what's going on? Like if you gonna take her, just take her. Like I don't want to get attached. Like so I purposely wasn't like
Did
I
you
wasn't
know she was a she at the time?
Okay. Not at first, but then when it was like my mom was like, oh no, like she's a girl. I had a dream about her. She's a girl. That's why I kept saying she. Like I always said she because my mom said she had a dream about her and it was a girl. And I was like, girl, be quiet. It's a boy. I want two boys. But like no, I knew she was gonna be a girl. But like she was a girl, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Like I want to be cool. Like I'm cool. But yeah, once I had her, I was like just crying. I just was like, oh my god.
Well, my birthday.
I was on with Gabby that day. I was like, Gabby, I think I'm gonna have her. I'm just like crying.
Was it Alexander Bonoshawi's birthday?
Yeah.
Atlanta, your birthday. You was like having the same birthday.
Yeah, I'm like, who next?
Me.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's pretty
dang,
cool.
like you really experienced like that's my biggest fear is like doctors not listening to me in the hospital or like ever, period. So how did you report her and like get that stuff done? Like was it before your pregnancy was over or after?
Yeah, so for Eliana, I was still pregnant. She was like before, like once I came back for like my, I want to say my third or fourth like high risk appointment, which probably was like maybe like 2 months later, she didn't work there anymore. And I was like, and because I was calling, I was like, I do not want her. Do not put me in schedule her. If you put me in schedule her, I'm gonna show my behind. So don't do that. And so after
she would have showed her behind.
Yes. So when I called and I said that, she was like, oh, she doesn't work here anymore. I was like, good. So now send me with my girl. Because once I told my mom, like I reported her, then my mom called up there. You know, when mom's getting, it's over with. Right. So I'm like, I knew. Yeah, so when she was gone, I was like pretty much at ease because I was like, if you do that to me, like I can't, like I got a pretty thick skin, like I can handle that. But you're not about to say that to somebody else, and then they get to, you know what I'm saying? They don't like take the necessary steps to like protect themselves or like check for themselves, or like if it is their first time having a baby and they're like, wait, what do you mean? Like that's not right. I feel like so I did it more so for like y'all not about to keep doing that. But I'm gonna find another one for my next one. Won't do them again, but yeah.
Oh, so you want another kid after Eliana?
Yeah, I actually do. I actually do. No, I'm gonna get a doula.
Oh, I wanted to ask, what's the difference between a doula and a midwife?
I think a midwife is more so like on the medical side. Doulas just handle more so like supporting the birthing person like through their labor. They're letting them know like, hey, this is like, so like say like if somebody's like, oh no, we're gonna do this, they're kind of like letting you know like, hey, it's your right to do XYZ. They're not like the ones gonna
deliver.
Yeah, they like support you and advocating for yourself, or like being like, hey, this is what she wants, like we don't, or you know, person.
So people don't have both.
What, like doula?
Midwife?
Yeah, they can.
Oh, okay.
Midwives is more so like I think they can like actually deliver the baby. It's
more
medical.
Do that too, though.
They just support.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I low key thought you were trying to be a midwife then.
I have been thinking about it.
Why
honestly.
not? What's the difference in certifications or like the schooling or whatever? What's the difference?
See, I would have to like look more into that part because like I feel like I would have to like actually like go to school and then and then like look more in like the medical field of school. But like with doula, I've taken like multiple like certifications and stuff just to like make sure I know like the rights and stuff.
So a doula then? She's not a midwife.
I think she's trying to be a midwife, or she might be a midwife. I'm not 100% sure because they have the birthing center. Yeah.
I was like, don't she be delivering babies or being there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she was a doula first. Like, but you can do both. Like, I
just thought they were the same thing, low key.
Oh.
I low key did too. I think I knew the difference was one delivered and one didn't, but because I was looking into being one too one day, and then I changed my mind. Because I was like, I just want to work with kids.
And look at you doing that now.
I know. Changing gears a little bit. Did you go to college or want to go to college?
So I did. I took like a couple classes, but I haven't gotten like the whole like
degree.
I've never walked across the stage before.
Really? Not even in high school?
No.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. So I think I think that kind of like that also kind of like shook the table of like, am I really gonna do it? I don't really want to do it because I got let down last time. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it. But definitely after having Alexander, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait. I kept pushing it back, and then now I got 2, and they're older now, and it's like, dang, I should have done when they was kids.
I mean, you still have time.
No, yeah.
And now they're more independent, so it might be a little easier because when they were younger, you had to like really give them attention. Yeah. So now you can put them in a room, go play.
You can do homework together.
Do homework together.
Yeah. So what would you have went to school for if you did?
Well, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do business administration, and then I'm going to go back for my master's in sociology.
Nice. Right. So what do you want to do with those degrees?
I want to, okay, y'all ready? So, this is my first time ever saying it out loud for real.
Ooh, but you gotta manifest.
Yeah.
Right. Put in the atmosphere.
Literally. So I want to have like doulaing, like have a doula company. Mm-hmm. And then but my main focus, I want clients that like actually, you know, of course, like paying stuff, but I want to have but my goal is to have like for the communities that don't have it, for like young moms like what that happened in my situation, I want to create like not scholarships but more like opportunities for them to have doulas to support them, like not have to worry about like the full price of a payment, because doulas can be really expensive. Like I've seen it up to like $10,000 for a doula. Yeah. Ooh. Like, and it can get even like depending on like the clientele, like celebrities, like they pay like that bad, like just for a doula, and it like it's worth it 100%. Yeah. But that's why I'm like, I wanted to be like more like, because when I was looking for one with Eliana, she was like, oh, it's gonna be like $5,000.
Yeah, she said,
excuse me. Like, I'm on bed rest, ma'am. I can't pay for that. But like, so stuff like that, I want to like, if they can't pay for it, or if like, okay, well, I'm going to have, like, this section over here where I'm supporting people, like, a portion of the proceeds are going to go to, like, help fund another.
Right, I've never heard you say this out loud. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really talk about it. But, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and then I want to have, like, a whole thing for them, because I know, like, when I was going to school, when I had Alexander, I was like, it was really hard for me. I had to, like, work overnights, because I'm like, okay.
So you want, like, a center where people can take care of their kids at the same time?
Exactly. Or they can, like, just drop them off and not have to worry about, like, oh, who's gonna watch my kid? I have to pay for this amount. Like, and then like even in college, like I went to like away for school for like for a few months, but it was like it was hard finding housing, because it was like, oh, like we don't really allow kids here. Like I had to do off campus housing, and like me and my friends sharing.
CMU or
Mount Pleasant? Yeah, Mount Pleasant. And it was like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, this is more cheaper, but I have to, like, spend a little bit more over here. And it was really hard to find, like, well, luckily I had my friends at the time. We shared it was a townhouse. Like,
that's right.
Yeah. So we shared a townhouse. So that was really, like, and it took us a little minute to find that, to be honest. But it was because of me, because I had Alexander. But, yeah, so I think I want to create a program to where it's, like, either have like an apartment complex when I buy it, something like that. I don't know. I want to do something to where it's like, okay, well, here's where all the mom and kids go. Yeah. Or like, even if you do live in college housing, like, you know, they be lit. So I'm like, I don't want my son, like me and my son walking up and there's somebody drunk, they throwing up, they fighting outside. You know what I mean? So I wanted to like create some kind of like an environment to where like, okay, I'm gonna go home with my kids. You know what I mean? Something like that.
They have other people like they can relate to.
Right, and I want to have like clubs, or like even just like time for like moms to get out, or like just even if like, you know, there's single dads too, so like dads to get out. So like, I don't know. It's like a program, something financial.
I actually dang, Gabby, I know. No, I actually love that. The side note, like there's this guy from high school. He didn't go to my high school. He went to Sexton. This girl went through a whole pregnancy and did not tell him about it, but signed over her parental rights to him. So he literally was like, I'm not about to let my son go into the system. So he took his son, but like he didn't know about it the whole pregnancy. She literally gave birth and then was like, yeah, I can't do this. And I was like, here, I actually had your kid. So now he's a single dad. But anyway, that's just crazy to me. But I love that. Like, I'm all for people creating things like, and like just those businesses, things that you wish people had for you. Exactly. Yeah. That's why I wanted to create that mentorship program for people that want to go to college. Like, I'm gonna tell you the real. Yeah. So
the real.
Yeah.
No, I really love that. So like, why did you not finish?
I'm not gonna blame it on my kids. It was me. It was because like it was like, okay. Because at one point I was working 2 jobs, and I'm like, I'm working 2 jobs, I'm going to school, and like, and it is 100% doable. It was 100% doable. But in my brain, I was like, oh my God, like I'm really hard on myself, so I'm like, no, like, oh, Alexander misses me. Oh, Eliana. Like, it was stuff like that. Or just, like, me just, like, overwhelmed with just, like, okay, I'm so tired. I'm just going to take a nap. I'm going to take a nap. But then it's, like, then it got to the point where, like, the whole childcare thing. Because it was, like, I was back at home. And it was, like, everybody's at work or at school. So it's, like, I had to keep, like, calling out. Like, I brought Alexander to class with me one time. And I was just like, okay, this is not a good idea. Like, yeah, granted.
I've seen people in my school do that, though. And it was completely fine.
But I guess it's depending on the professor. Because one of my professors was like, no. And I was like, okay, I'm going to miss my class then. And then my other professor, she was like, oh, it's cool. Like, yeah, bring him. And then, like, he came a couple times.
I would not ask. I would just bring him.
Right.
Like, yes, okay, we were college kids. Like, we lived in college as kids. Like, our parents met in college and, like, was finishing their degree while raising us. So we grew up in college. DJ grew up in college. I would literally bring DJ to my classes. Never ask. Everybody, even the professor, do you want a sucker? Oh my goodness, it's a kid. Like, they literally act like a kid was some freaking alien. Like, they had never seen a kid before on a college campus. So you literally, I really feel like they can't tell you no.
They can't. I don't. It's like people have outside lives outside of school, so it's like you can't just. I hate when professors do that.
Yeah.
He was like, no, he's be a distraction. I was like, he won't, but I guess.
Right. Was he ever interruptive or crying or anything?
No, Alexander, he's so quiet.
I would have literally just brought him and just been like, see, he was quiet. You didn't even know he was here.
Exactly. I gave him, because he had, like, at the time, I think we had, like, like, with the little extra phones. Mm-hmm. So I gave him, like, one of the phones, headphones, got him his Lunchables, candy. He was sick. We was back in the corner chilling. Like, so I was like, bruh, really?
Childcare where? My class, right here, right next. At this point.
So that's what it was for, like I said, for me. And I hated, like, having to ask people and stuff. So it really was just me. Like, it was, like, me not doing, like, jumping and taking the extra risk. So, yeah.
Do you think it was partially, like an insecurity of yours? Like, oh, I don't want to spend time away from my kid. But I also, like, you kind of felt bad for putting yourself first or, like, being selfish type thing?
Yes, definitely. 100%. Like, I feel like that. And I still feel, I'm not going to lie, I still feel like that now. Like, even, like, before I came here, I was like, oh, my God, I feel so bad. I didn't even tell him I was coming. But it was like, I'm like, Najae, come on, get it together. Like, you're your own person. Like, you're not just mom. So I think I've been, like, kind of, like, stepping out on that, too. It's like, you know what? Mom, I can get out. And then it's like, it's just like, and then it's like, it's just, not, I keep saying it's just me, but I'm a single parent. Mm-hmm. So it's more so, like, I feel bad because it's like, at first I felt like I was trying to, like, do more to, like, compensate for what, like, the other person, but it was like at the same time I'm like, it's not my responsibility.
And they have
right,
brothers
exactly. I'm like, it's not my responsibility to do that, and then I can't do that. And like I said, they have more than enough father figures. My uncles, my brothers, my dad, like, I have a big family, and we're very close. Like, we see each other, like, all the time.
Have a lot of support too.
Yes, very much. So it's like that. I really was blessed in that aspect. That's why I want to be there. People who don't have that, because it's like I can't imagine, like, not having any of, like, my family to help me. It's just like, wow.
Do you feel like having your familial support kind of enabled you to not go to school like, oh, my family's here for me, I know I can go back to them?
Yeah.
Do you feel like if you didn't have family there, you was like, no, I need to finish by all means necessary?
See, no, I feel like I would push it back even more, because I was like, no, I need to work. Because, like, granted, I have, like, my family supports me, but, like, financially, it's just me.
You're
so
independent,
they don't really, like, they do, like, if I'm like, okay, Ma, diapers on you this month, like, but other than that, it's like, I think that's the part that was kind of like, let me focus on that. I'm like, okay, no, he needs diapers, he needs shoes. I'm like, I need to go do this, I gotta do this, I gotta pay for daycare. So, like, that's kind of where my head was at.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but on the other end, I'm like, well, Najae, you could have signed up, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like, I could have signed up for scholarships. I could have did this. I could have, like, managed stuff differently. But, like, we're here now. So it's like, literally, I know, like, moving forward, I'm like, I'm gonna lean back on my other jobs and really dive more in, like, and then sometimes it takes, like, the sacrifice of, like, you know what, I'm not gonna get Chipotle today. I'm gonna like, you know what, I'm gonna chill today. I'm not gonna go out this weekend with y'all. Movie at the house, like, stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna be more. I haven't had Starbucks in a long time, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get Starbucks on Sundays, and that's before I go to church, and, like, okay, I'm only gonna do this, but being more, like, intentional with, like, spending, and, like, okay, we gotta tighten up. We can't do everything. Or, like, Alexander's like, oh, we going to Dave & Buster's? We're not going to Dave & Buster's today.
Wait, when the last time you seen the Cheesecake Factory? Because they love the Cheesecake Factory.
No, we haven't been in a long time. And that too, like, I wanted them to, like, experience stuff. So, like, you know, some people, like, buy their kids toys. I'm like, no, like, let's go out. Like, my kids are kind of foodies because I'm one.
I love it.
So it's like, oh, let's go out to a new restaurant. Let's try new foods. So now instead of, like, going to, like, Cheesecake Factory and, like, dates and stuff, like, because we used to go on dates. Aww. So, like, instead of, like, going on dates all the time, I do, like, movies at the house, and we can go to the grocery store and, like, get, like, a new snack that's out. So, like, our last thing we tried was, like, some, like, what is them, like, the elote corn. Like, they have Cheeto flavored.
Was it good?
No. Like, the kids loved it. I thought it was disgusting. But, like, we, like, try, like, different snacks like that. Like, the new snacks that's out. Like, trying to, like, shift it. Like, okay, like, I can't keep spending $100 at Cheesecake Factory. So let's just spend, like, $10 at the grocery store. And then everybody gets drinks. Or we can order, like, we order cheese sticks. Like, that's our thing. Order cheese sticks.
You
and,
guys
like,
should cook together.
Movie.
Do you cook
yes,
with them?
Our favorite thing to cook is pizza. But, like, we do, like, the little roll-up ones. Because, like, and I let them... wash your hands first, but we let them, like, roll the pizza little doughs up, and, like, we make that. So that's their thing. They like the pizza thing.
No, for real.
I love that.
Yeah. And my cousin, she sent me this one link, and they have, like, every week they send out, like, a different, like, meal to cook together. So we signed up for that. So, like, so it's fun. Like, it made me get more creative. Like, okay, we're not going to Cheesecake Factory today. Okay, we're not doing hibachi. Okay, we're not. All right, we don't. Najae, you can't. Literally, I'm like, what can't? Or sushi. Like, that was our thing too. We used to go get sushi, and I'm like, now it's like, we're doing a special occasion. Right. We gonna get these Cheetos. But yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So how has it been, you know, being a mom but still trying to navigate with your friendships?
Ooh. So, I think this, like I said, this year has been, like, really shaking me because I feel like it's been shifting. So, like, this year, I think I've shifted out of some friendships where I was, like, more comfortable in, and I kind of, like, had to step out of, like, I was forced to step out of that and kind of just navigate on my own way and, like, build new friendships as an adult is, like, that's crazy.
Oh, I know.
Like, and then it's funny because, like, I feel like me and my friends, like, I don't say my friends now, but, like, my new friends, they're kind of like, we're on the same space, like, oh my god, we're making friends as an adult, and this is weird. But it was
timestamp because that's a clip.
but it was pretty cool though. Like, they're like
and I like them. I mean, I haven't met them, but I can see how you talk about them and y'all go out and do stuff. And they do favors for you, you do favors for them. It's like,
are they mommies?
No, they're not. I don't have any. Well, I don't want to say I don't have any of my friends, but, like, in this group of friends, I don't have any. They're not moms yet, but it's been pretty cool. Like, I've been, like, more outgoing.
Outgoing?
I've been
more. Was talking about, who is that?
We're literally, I'm like, okay, let me just talk to new people, like, because they're more outgoing than I am. So, like, they're like, oh,
they bring it out of you.
Yeah. So I'm just like, they're like, oh, Najae, like, this is this. So I'm like, hi, and, like, you know the PK part, like, when you're like had to talk to people. Like, so that's been, like, kind of, like, coming out more normal now, and I'm just like, ew, like, this is weird. Like, what is going on? But it's been cool though. Like, I'm just like, I definitely feel different. So I think I'm just like, you know, trying new stuff with them, and then, like, also, like, having that to look back on, like, oh, like, this is how I thought friendship was supposed to go. Then it's like, okay, this is not how this is going. Then it's like, oh, this is how I want it to go. Like, so navigating all, like, the different parts of it, and then just being I think the hard part, it has been hard, but in a good way. Like, okay, we're having those tough conversations. Like, okay, is this too much for you? Like, wait, did that was a lot for you?
To each other?
Yeah, right. So we're very much like checking in with each other. Like, just, and it can, like, it's awkward sometimes, but to me, I don't really care. Like, we're gonna get over the awkwardness because like, it's intentional. Like, I want to make this work. Like, I see where, you know, it's always about that.
Because friendships are relationships.
Legit, and I think people forget that. Like, even like the boyfriend breakups are hard, but, like, friendship breakups are terrible.
Man, it's like, who am I gonna tell
myself? Literally. And I think, so for me, it's just like, okay, if we're ever to break up, I want that open line of communication. Like, okay, are you good? I'm good. Okay, we checking in. Okay, we straight. Like, okay, like I'm having a really rough day. Is it okay to dump right now? Like, you good? Okay, I'm a dump. Okay. And then it's like having that space to just, like, okay to be weird. Just be yourself, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I love that.
I'm like, I don't think I had to make any friendships in my adulthood.
I mean, I feel like college counts as your adulthood.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah.
I just feel like you made your friends early on in your adulthood.
Okay.
But I think with old friendships, you do have to do those check-ins, or it can go south because we're different people than we were at Epicenter. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not
100%.
100%. So it's like even like I feel like we never had like a we always like had a check-in moment. And it's like, okay, this is what I've evolved to, or like this is who I am now, or like this is the experience I had that kind of changed me, or you know what I'm saying? Like we like continually like checking in that kind of way. I think it's just a different check-in.
No, yeah, like recently I've had to like redefine certain relationships because like me and Debbie, super duper close in high school, literally always over each other's house. Got to college, still close but more separate. Got with Jeff, distant, and it's like. I gotta
get back.
Right, we gotta get back to like
figure something out.
Yeah, to like figure out how to still be friends and still be in like relationships with other people, you know, stuff like that. It's just a bunch of redefining.
And I love your new friendships too that you have.
Thank you. I feel like
growing.
I know. I feel like they're just different, and I feel like the friends that I'm making now are more like me because I'm coming more into my own. Kind of like you said, you were being more outgoing. Me too. Like I'm literally an introvert, and then recently, me and Gabby did the personality test. Mine changed to extrovert, and I was like, "What? I'm what?
You thought you were introvert?
Najae, yes.
What?
You should have took the test.
Me?
I know. We should. You should take it after this.
No, I want to know now.
No, I okay. Childhood, like,
that's different.
It's different,
and we were in. It's not like I didn't know you.
Yeah, so, it's like at one point you were always over our house, like super close. So it's almost like every time I see you, no time has passed. Like even though we don't talk, like no time has passed. Yeah. With other new people, it's like I need to get into a zone where I'm just like, am I comfortable? Right.
What you doing? Yeah.
And I feel like with the wedding setting and it being like hosted by people I know, I'm kind of like. I feel like a host almost. So I'm going to be going around like, oh, hey, like, thank you for coming, you know, stuff like that. But if it's like, if I was like, for example, when I went to Kara's wedding, it was kind of our group. And it's like, okay, I'm going to talk to other people, but I'm going to stay with our group. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to, like, talk to other people. And that's just kind of like my introvertedness. Like, I'm not the type of person just, like, be super duper out there. I'm just, like, kind of fill the room.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
I think I'm both.
You are. It depends on how you feel that day.
Yeah. Plus the other person's energy.
Yeah, 100%.
Like your friend,
Deshaun and Rose.
Instantly clicked.
Yes. And we love that.
That's the best when your friends, like, you're, like...
My friends vibe with my other friends. I love it.
Yes. Miranda.
I love her, yes. Oh, my goodness.
I love that.
Yes. Okay. So, oh my goodness, that was a good conversation.
What?
Are they segment? I know, it's okay. No, it's good conversation. I feel like I learned a lot about Najae today.
Oh.
Okay, let's get into our Let's Get Deep. So, I have one
that
question.
wasn't deep?
It was deep.
Oh, okay.
Let's get deeper.
It's hot.
Okay, so let's get deep. So if you could have one lesson that you want your kids to learn from you, what would it be? If you could only choose one.
Oh, one. Can I have one for each?
Yeah, you can have one for each kid. Because they're different people.
Very. Eliana's my more outgoing one. And Alexander, he's the... So, Eliana, she's the one that's like, let me watch you for a minute. Then when she knows you, she's like, ah! But then Alexander, he's just like, all the time. He's just like, hi. Hi. Literally. So, I think for Alexander, I would tell... My advice would... You said advice, right? Or
a lesson.
Lesson. Okay. So, I would tell him...
Right.
I would tell him, I want him to take more, like, he's good at taking risks, but he's very hard on himself. He got that from me. He's very hard on himself. So, like, with, like, Lego puzzles and stuff like that, I'm like, no, Alexander, challenge yourself. Like, you're 8, but you can do the 9-year-old one. We're going to get the 10-year-old one. We're not doing 4-year-olds no more. You can do this. So, I would just tell him I would give him the lesson of, like, you know what? At this point, like I would say the college part, like, I thought it was challenging for me, and I didn't, plant those seeds then, and then, so I'm planting it a little later, but, like, granted, the outcome is still the same, but I would tell him to plant the seeds now, like, water them now, like, you can do it now, like, don't be scared, or just do it scared, like, that. It's okay, like, you can do it, like, challenge yourself. So, and then for Eliana, ooh,
that one.
that's that sassy one. I was like, but for her, she's so kind. So I think my lesson to her would be like, yes. I was like, for her, I would just tell her to still embrace her kindness. Just like,
don't let anyone change.
Don't let anybody change you. Because like I said, she's very opinionated. So like your voice does matter, and so we're like building that confidence now. So it's like your voice does matter, and no matter like how somebody else's reaction to what you say, like as long as you check your heart and like your intentions are pure, like still like say what you say, stand 10 toes on it, and that's all it matters is like the heart and your intentions. Like so you gotta stand 10 toes on it no matter anybody else's reaction. So that's what I tell her.
I love that.
Yeah. But I would still go tell them the same thing though. But yeah.
Gabby, I know we don't have any kids yet, but let me ask you, what's one lesson? What's one lesson you want to like your siblings? What's one lesson you want like Angelica and Andrew and Sean to like know from you?
Girl, I would have thought of something while she was talking that. What do I want them to? It's just like I think I always say it, but just like you said, don't be scared to try something. Like just do it and just have all the confidence. Like,
yes.
What did I tell you the other day? Like don't let people. What did I tell you? I was like, don't let people not make you show up just because they feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Like, just do you, be you. Come in the room with your head high.
Yeah.
Just be confident. Confidence.
I love that.
That's something I would tell them.
Yeah. Okay, what's your? Let's get deep.
No, what's yours? Oh, wait a minute. What's yours?
Man, because I always piggyback. I know, but to my volleyball girls. I always teach them cause man, these kids nowadays are so petty. Like literally they tell me about fights every day, and the fights are the stupidest things. Yeah. So I'm just like always telling them just to be the bigger person, just to be that light for somebody. Like you never know what somebody's going through. You never know if they're having a good day or a bad day. Like don't let the encounter with you be like the worst. Like don't let it be their 13 threes, you know?
I like that,
don't whenever I encounter people, even if I'm having a bad day or if I'm getting bad vibes from people, I try not to let that change me, change who I am, and I always just try to have a pleasant experience because what if they just got news, that the love of their life died or that their mom is, on hospice or something. Like, what if they are really going through something and then you just add a fuel to the fire? You just never know. So I think the lesson that I just want people to get is just to be a good person and just to be nice, Yeah.
These are all good.
Yes. Like, that is so true. You never know people going through.
You never do.
And gotta give grace.
Yes.
Because it's like, you just never.
Show these people grace.
Literally, because you never know. Like, and I think, like, when I know, like when I'm at work, 'cause I'm a server. So, like, people, they like, oh, what? It's just like, ma'am, I have 7 other tables. And I understand that's not your fault, but I'm doing the best I can. Right. And just do your best. So, I'm like, you gotta give grace. Because I'm like, that's what I'm learning a lot. Because, like, even when, like, I look back and, like, stuff that people said, like, to me that hurt me, and it's like, okay, I'm going to deal with my hurt and, like, my hurt feelings, like, on the back end of mine, because I'm not going to put that on you, because I know you're hurting and you put that on me, and I didn't like how that felt. So I'm going to, like, deal with my emotions, but I'm giving you grace because I know, like, behind you, like, snapping on me, I know it's, like, something else going on.
Right, something deeper.
Yeah.
All right, for my Let's Get Deep question, what's something you recently learned about yourself?
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Put in the comments what y'all recently learned.
I'm really trying to think. Do you have yours, Gabby?
No. What have I recently learned about myself?
Us never preparing.
I know.
For our own question.
But sometimes I just want it to be like
authentic. Yeah. I'll say recently within the last year, it's not something that I've learned. It's something that I've, I guess, realized. The power of my voice, like speaking up for myself. Like I used to, and it's literally the simplest things, like getting my nails done. I saw that my nails crooked. I didn't say nothing because I don't want to.
Recently?
Yeah. No, like speaking, like for example, even the smallest things, like getting my nails done. You slanted a little bit. Like, I don't want to say nothing to you previously because I'm just like, it's not that big of a deal. But now it's like, no, this is my body. This is what I like. I'm going to deal with this. I'm paying for it. I'm going to have you fix it.
That's why beforehand, sorry to get off topic, but
okay.
I like it straight. I let that be known beforehand.
And I've always just been the type of person just to like let it be. But no, recently I've just learned to like really speak up for myself and like like be my own advocate, even in jobs and in pay. Like another example, at my last job before the one that I just left, there was this instance. So we had another person coming in for the department, and I was the main person for it, which means I should have been the person training that person. But the person that trained me was training them. Now, she trained me so she could, you know, do another task. So if you train me, why am I not training this person? And so when she was training that person, no one spoke anything to me. Like, they didn't tell me, oh, she's known it longer, she should show him, and then he's going to come to you. Like, nobody told me anything. So and they're literally in the cubicle next to me. So as they're doing this, I'm, like, thinking to myself, like, I'm a little irritated. Like, why are you not, you know, communicating? Right. And so previous me would have just, like, let it be. But I was like, Nyla, I'm about to, you know, speak up for myself. So I literally input myself. You know, I'm a very respectful person. I'm like, excuse me, are you guys training? Because I heard the stuff they were going on. She was like, yes. I was like, okay, why am I not included in this? Right. And she's like, oh, because you already know. She already knows. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm not about to make a scene. And so my supervisor messages me later. We were low-key messaging each other at the same time. She messaged me like, I don't want you to feel any type of way, but we just felt like this should be her training. And I'm thinking, it just doesn't make sense to me that she's training him when I am the person over this department. Like, why is it not me? Right. And so I just kind of had to speak up for myself in that moment. And I was kind of proud of myself. And also I had, like, moments where I felt unheard and, like, kind of overshadowed. So I felt like that moment, it was actually like 2-3 months ago, was like a stepping stone moment for me. Like, I was texting Jeff. I was like, am I wrong? He was like, I don't think you're wrong, but you might be thinking a little bit too much into it, but also you haven't been feeling seen, so I'm proud of you for speaking up. So I'm like, okay. So little moments like that, like, even though they're little, it's like tiny here by moment that I'm like really like starting to speak up for myself and not just accepting what is and like actually fighting for what I want. So that's good. Thank you.
I think for me it's like giving myself credit, like more credit than
because I need to start doing that.
Yeah, yes, literally. I'm like, dang, I didn't realize I was like this hard on myself. Like, I knew I was hard on myself, but like then my mom started, like, I was telling her about something, and like she just started going in on me. I'm like, hold on, sis, like, hold on, relax. And then she started going in. I'm like, I never looked at it like that. So it's just more like just changing my perspective of like, okay, I can get it. Okay, all right, I'm doing pretty good. I'm not doing too bad. Cause, you know, I think like I heard this before. Comparison is a
50 with joy.
Yes, it's like, and it's a tactic of the enemy. So it's like if I'm comparing myself to somebody who's like at a different point than me, I find myself like, oh, damn, something like
It's an enemy, or enemy.
It's like, or thief of joy, something like that. It is something like that. So I'm like, so I wasn't like directly comparing myself, but it was more so I wasn't comparing myself to like my friends per se. It was more so preparing myself for like what high school Najae was supposed to do.
You're comparing yourself to yourself.
Yes,
I do that all the time. Like body image, like, oh my goodness, 3 months ago I was looking this, like, how did I let myself get?
Yes, you do that a lot, Nyla. For me, I do it, not to interrupt you, but I do it like how I thought my life was supposed to be.
Yes.
So I'm comparing, I'm like, this is not how, but
this was not in my plan. Yeah. Like, literally, I'm like, when they did the 5-year plan, and like when I was like 17, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna go get my master's, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Like, so I was like comparing myself to that. I'm like, okay, 17-year-old Najae would never have done this. Like, absolutely not. So I'm like, then it's like 17 Najae-year-old didn't experience like 10 year, like those that 10-year gap, like all the experiences I've experienced, I would never learn those lessons had I not, you know,
gone through it.
Exactly. So I'm like, so it's giving myself more credit in that sort of sense. It's like, okay, granted, you know, you don't have the 4-year degree. You're not like, you know, you don't have your master's yet. You know, you don't have this. But it's like, but on the back end, it's like, oh my God, I have 2 beautiful kids. Like, my insides are pretty foundation. Like, I'm pretty straight now. Like, stuff like that. So it's like that, giving myself more credit.
Yeah, I love that.
I think for me, I'm learning to not react so fast. Like, so you know how some people react, they listen to react. I'm learning to not do that. So like, if I have a conversation with my parents, I try not to get so mad so fast or not get, what's the word? Defensive. And hot-headed, yes, because I am that. But I'm definitely learning.
No, you're not.
I'm learning not to be so hot-headed and get so defensive so fast. I just don't understand why I do that. Like, I react off of emotions so quick. So I'm learning to, you know, think through the process and think through a situation before, you know, trying to cuss somebody out. Because I'm good for doing that. But yeah, that's what I've learned recently about myself that I'm trying to change.
I think I had a, because I was very, y'all know me. Y'all knew how I was. I used to be like, no, like, but like now I'm more like,
more chill.
Yes, I'm more chill, and I try to look at it from like their perspective. Yeah. Like, okay, why did you do that? Or like, what happened to you to make you make that decision? Or like stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta think through that kind of stuff before you know reacting. So.
And you would never have thought like I think like a couple years ago, I would have never thought to think that like okay, what is the other person thinking to say this to me, like, and then like
what they got
literally it was like, man, what you really talking about right now? But nah, that's pretty cool. Do you feel like you're like doing a good job of doing that? What's the most challenging part of doing that? Like if they be popping off and
being
you guys
quiet.
Okay.
I'll have conversations with my dad. He's like, well, why are you doing all that? I'm like, oh well, yeah, let me calm down a little bit. Like that's just so hard, not saying like something.
Do you feel like you always need a response or something? Sometimes everything needs a response.
Yes, it's just hard, y'all.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm learning though. I'm getting there.
It's okay. We're all learning and growing.
It's literally a journey. It's not like
past traumas triggering and stuff like that.
Literally, that's what it be.
We're gonna dive deeper into that when you go to therapy.
All right.
Did you come up with a let's get deep?
Who? Me?
I know.
I don't know, have I?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I thought this was really good. I actually want to have you back on. Like, I feel like this is a really good conversation.
It was. It was a good, deep conversation.
So, our last segment before we close is: do you have any advice for anybody, just anybody in general, like from your life lessons and anything you've gone through? Do you have any advice that you just want to give to the general public?
I would say, I think this was told to me, so I'll say it was told to me. Like, your right now isn't your future. So, like, no matter what it's looking like right now, like, just to keep, you know, like, and then don't look too far in the future. Like, it's okay to live it right now, but just don't keep your mindset in it right now. Like, always, like, plan on building and growing and, like, just know, like, I know for me, like, even this is, like, recently, like, I'm like, oh, my God, how is this going to work out? But it's, like, God already has it planned out. It's already set. So just, like, having that faith and, like, trusting in Him, it's just, like, really essential, like, really bad. And it's hard. It's not easy. Like, people make it seem like it's easy, but it's really not. But it is a decision. Like, it's a choice to be like, no, you know what, I'm going to have faith. It's, like, and it's a constant decision. So I'll just say that.
I love that.
I kind of have to piggyback off that. Like, I'm gonna butcher it, but my dad said something to me. It was something like, don't be in a position where you're always trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Don't be, be behind. So I can't, but it made sense to me. But just don't be in a position where you're always behind trying to catch up. Like, just be in that position where you're consistently learning about stuff and trying to grow into yourself.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And I would just say, like, always keep growing. Like, you can never do enough growing. Like, always keep pressing forward, keep pushing, keep trying to achieve your goals. Like, if you feel like you're there, like, there's always more,
Yeah.
Amen. Like I like to say, every podcast
right?
Because being content is not. I don't ever want to like feel like not like content as like happy wise. Like I never want to be like, okay, well, like it was like, no, like I'm okay with this and I don't want to do anything else. Right. I don't ever want to do that. I want to be like, no, let me challenge myself a little more. Like, okay, what areas do I need to reflect on? Like, do I need to work on this? Okay, that's okay. Do I need to work on it? Like, stuff like that. Like you said, like just continually growing. And self-checks all the time. Yeah.
Oh, 100% self-checks. Well, thank you for being here. I really love this episode, like, so much. Me too. I thought it was such a good conversation. We want to remind you guys to contact us, email us. We want to get those listener write-ins, which probably aren't going to start until after our break, but it's okay. We're going to start. Listener shout-out goes to Carnell Wiggins. He commented, #I'm still here. So, yay! If you guys are still here this far into the podcast, comment #I'm still here in the comments. We want to see how many of you guys we still have. We love you guys' engagement. So yeah, message all of us. So Najae, tell us what's next for you. Like, put it in the atmosphere, put it in the world, speak it into existence. What do you want to do next?
I definitely want to dive more deep into my doula stuff. Get more clients. I kind of want to focus on that. Just like going back to school, like I said. Just want to like just actually start like take that leap of faith and like dive into it. God's there for me. Yes. Stop being so scary.
Yeah, go ahead and plug your social media accounts. Don't forget your hair page.
Okay. Right. We didn't even talk about that either, but
we did. Oh yeah, Plain Jane. You know what I'm saying? At plainjane.com. I'm supposed to spell it out.
I'll put it in the comments.
Okay, my Instagram is at Najae. So yeah, I think that's what I have, right? I think
okay.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Nyla Gabby, TikTok at Nyla Gabby, and Twitter at Nyla Gabby 7.
TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter _GVH4. My business page SHOPFITNESS.
No, GV.
Right.
I was like, you got a new one? I'm like, what's your spelling?
Like, do y'all brain ever like? Yes. I don't know. It moves faster than what I'm saying. So, no, my mouth moves faster than my brain. But yeah, y'all heard it's gonna be in the
GV Fitness.
Yeah, THEE.GABBYV. Don't forget to follow that one too.
And then don't forget to follow the Naturally Us Podcast, Instagram at the Naturally Us Podcast, TikTok Naturally Us Pod. Yes. Follow us.
We got some good TikToks, y'all.
I know. And we working on our social media accounts.
Growing and stuff. Learning to dance. Right.
But thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Najae, for being with us. We really enjoyed it.
I was so confused. I was like, me?
And guys, don't forget to be naturally and authentically you. Bye.